and so you want to make sure that your materials are very stable and aren't going to fall apart. And that's going to be for any kind of material that you use. Is it going to withstand that, the vacuum of space, the big temperature fluctuations, which is really a big one on the moon, because you've got 2 weeks of daylight where it gets extremely hot, and then 2 weeks of nighttime where it gets extremely cold. And that switch between daylight and dark puts a lot of stresses on the material and hot and cold. One of the things that I've read some about recently is the materials that are on the moon and how usable the materials are for building types of purposes. And the regolith is what they call the moon dust. That's REGOLITH. And it is real high in silicone. And so, they talked about, can you use that to make solar cells to generate the energy, but can you also use that as construction materials? And I would think with a high silicone content, you could possibly use that as a component for windows. I would think you would want to locate it at some interesting terrain. You're not going to want it to be flat. You're going to want it to be, I'll say, more hilly or with craters nearby, so that they can go and explore something interesting. Right now, on the current spacesuits that, it's the American astronauts as well as the Russian suits, they're, I'll say, small, medium, large, and each one of them comes with different parts, and you tailor the selection of parts based on the body, so that you may have a medium-sized torso but may have long legs or large legs and short arms, so that you can mix and match the parts to get a more custom fit rather than one size fits all. And that way you don't have to have a custom tailored, it's kind of the middle between a custom fit suit and a one size fit. And there's some really neat stuff that I've seen out on the web about ideas that NASA, Johnson Space Center, is looking at for moon rovers right now, where you have a containerized vehicle that you ride around in, and it's kind of like the spacesuit hangs off the front of it. So only if you need to go outside do you actually go climb into that spacesuit, seal it off, and go. And the spacesuit, part of the big problem that they had on the Apollo moon landings is that lunar regolith sticks to the clothing. And when you bring that inside, you bring all that dirt in with you. So they really contaminated the lunar module a lot with that dirt. And so you really want to limit that. And some of these new concepts are, how can you have a spacesuit you never bring inside? Well, you have it hanging off the front of the vehicle or something like that. Where but I would think a trampoline for sure would be really cool, because, you could jump much higher and do more acrobatic kind of things.